hater Fani Willis back in the hot seat, this time over a prosecution of President Trump. She faced off with the Georgia State Senate, strolling in looking like she just came off from the North Pole, despite the 60-degree weather in Fulton County today. Her attitude kind of ranged from nasty to conceited throughout the entire hearing.
I'm the best DA in the Southeast. Why wouldn't I be proud of my work? I noticed that you didn't bring any diversity here when you brought witnesses. You brought all Republican, Caucasian people to come and to tell you about my work. I don't need Daddy to tell me how to do my work. I know how to do my work.
Yeah. Daddy? What? By the way, this was a special committee set up last year by the state Senate in Georgia to examine kind of potential misconduct by Fani Willis and others in that prosecution after the 2020 election. Now, you remember that it's the case she was permanently removed from that was also later dismissed. It got even worse, by the way, and more intense when senators asked her about her lover and special prosecutor on the case, very special, Nathan Wade.
What I can tell you is that I only allowed Mr. Wade to bill 160 hours a week, and then Mr. Wade would be the first one in the office making sure that my staff arrived. He corrected their behavior. They thought that 8:30 meant 8:30. He taught them that 8:30 means 7:45. He got there before them. He left after him. He taught them how to do this case, and he was a leader to that team and a public servant. And for that, him, like me, has been threatened thousands of times.
She say he worked 160 hours a week. Okay, that means he worked 22 hours a day, 7 days a week. Stand by your man, I guess. And then take a load off, Fani. Pulled out the race card.
You want something to investigate as a legislature? Investigate how many times they've called me the N-word. Why don't you investigate that?
Her attitude was off the charts.
I already stated I don't trust you. I understand you're trying to run for lieutenant governor right now. Anything you want me to testify to, I'm going to need to see.
Okay. The right-hand side here is the meeting that I referenced. The highlighted section reads, travel to Athens, conf with White House.
How does this assist you in developing laws for Georgia? Because it made sense to me that you'd come to the best prosecutor in the state to ask for some advice. But I'm confused as to how this assists you and what the purpose of me being here is.
The committee has a broad purpose. I'd be happy to refer to council as to the overall purpose of the committee. But my question for you is, as it relates to
I don't think it's relevant, so I'm objecting on relevance.
Yeah, the purpose of it was to examine allegations of a corrupt prosecution. That's the whole purpose of this entire committee. Here to react, David Schoen, former Trump impeachment lawyer. David, she just hasn't learned any lesson from this. She's going full bore ahead, like nothing ever happened, like nothing's wrong.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, she's a politician. She knows her constituency, and she plays to that. But she's a prosecutor first, frankly. And, you know, that has a special role in our system. She clearly didn't get what the Georgia Court of Appeals said. Georgia Court of Appeals wrote at length about important principles that a prosecutor is different from private counsel. The Supreme Court has said that in Berger v. United States back in 1935. Model rules reflected, Model Rule 3.8. And the lower court in this case found that there was an odor of mendacity surrounding this whole situation with her. They didn't just disqualify her, they disqualified her entire office from this prosecution based on her conduct. So, you know, Justice Jackson said in 1940 in an important speech that the most dangerous thing a prosecutor can do is to pick his targets rather than picking cases that need to be prosecuted. We saw this with Fani Willis, we saw it with Letitia James, we saw it with Alvin Bragg. They picked out Donald Trump to go after and then tried to build a case around it. It demeans the system and nothing less than that.